all the super fights we once hoped for in the UFC in 2025 have kind of hit the bucket, hit the can. John Jones continues to say no after 6 months of being out. He says he needs 6 more months. Fuck him, he's a prick. And we've got Tom Aspinall sitting there like a duck, like a sitting duck, while he's being ducked, along with Islam Makhachev now moving up to face Jack Della Maddalena, realistically in October, Abu Dhabi, leaving Ilia Topuria without the super fight that he desired. Look, folks, let me tell you about this. Islam Makhachev versus JDM. It's a fun fight. I'll tune in. It's a big fight. It's another champion going for that double champ status, as he does deserve. He is the most title defenses in the lightweight division's history with 4, and he's moving up to take on the newly crowned champion at welterweight. However, Ilia Topuria versus Makhachev would have been one of the biggest fights the UFC's ever done. Both guys have been nothing but dominant. Only really seeing a few little tiny bits of adversity in both of their careers. Obviously, Ilia Topuria was dropped by Jai Herbert, and Islam was knocked out about 17, 18 fights ago. Now look, folks, 15 fights, I believe. I'm really upset with this. Now, not because it... Why does Islam have to move up now? Why not give it one more fight? I understand this is a big risk if he stays and loses this fight. Moving up isn't really an option, but the welterweight division is so crowded at the moment. I think Islam moving up right now is a terrible thing for the company. Jack Della Maddalena has just got the belt. I would like to see Shavkat fight him. I'd like to see Ian Gary fight him. I'd like to see Sean Brady fight either Ian Gary or Shavkat. You know, there's so much you could do in the welterweight division at the moment. However, Islam Makhachev is going to jump the queue. Rightly so. I would have no issue with him moving up if a man named El Matador, Ilia Topuria, was not sitting there waiting for him. Now, Ilia is a monster. He's an absolute beast. It's a very, very intriguing matchup. I do think Islam beats him. But there's always that chance, and there's that little spark within Ilia Topuria. You know, I'd say it's a 60-40 fight to Islam Makhachev, but Ilia Topuria is an animal. He's a beast. He's fantastic at what he does. He's got the mindset of a true champion and a true contender, which has been missing in a lot of the fighters recently. You know, he's got over 7 million followers on Instagram. He's an absolute star at the moment. And if he was to go out there and beat the pound for pound number 1, he'd take that spot, and he would be the biggest superstar the sport has at the moment, which is what we want, and it's what we need, and it's something that we haven't had in a very, very long time. Look, folks, let's talk about that. Ilia Topuria is realistically now going to fight Charles de Bronx Oliveira for the interim title. And here is how I think it's going to go. End of June, Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira will main event International Fight Week for the interim belt. If Islam Makhachev goes up and defeats Jack Della Maddalena, on that very same night, he will be crowned the two-weight world champion if he gets through Jack. On the Tuesday, the next week, as you know, the rankings get updated, everything gets dealt with. Ilia Topuria will be automatically promoted to the lightweight champion, and I believe Islam will be stripped. I do not think the double champ thing is a good idea for the UFC anymore. I think you should allow Islam the chance to win both belts and hold both belts at the same time on the night he gains them. However, on the Tuesday, he is now stripped of one or the other. He gets to pick. Realistically, it will be the lightweight belt. Hence, the interim title fight at the end of June. I think that's the best way to do it. What it also does is Ilia Topuria has said his next fight will be for the chance to fight for an undisputed world title. Now, the UFC might come to him and say, look, Makhachev has defended this belt 4 times, he is moving up. However, Ilia, here's my proposition. This is what Hunter Campbell and Dana will be saying to him. If Ilia successfully wins the welterweight title, he will be stripped of the lightweight belt, you then being promoted if you win against Charles Oliveira. That means the fight with Oliveira is for an undisputed title if a set of circumstances take place, where Ilia Topuria will sit back and be like, okay, let me think about this properly. If he wins, he becomes the interim. But if Makhachev wins, he becomes the undisputed. I'm talking Makhachev beating Jack. However, he wants to fight Islam and become the undisputed champ. So he's going to get the Islam fight either way, because he'll become interim. If Islam loses, comes back down in a few months, he will get that fight. If I'm the UFC, I'm saying to Islam Makhachev, either way, we're stripping you on the Tuesday after the fight. If you beat Jack, we're stripping you. However, if you lose to Jack, Ilia Topuria becomes the undisputed champ. We can get the best of both worlds here and get both fights. It has to be under a very certain set of circumstances, and we have to see what Islam Makhachev wants to do after he's competed at 170, because in my opinion, we do not see Islam Makhachev at lightweight again. That's my opinion. I don't think he comes back down. I think he beats Jack and maybe defends the belt once, then he is done. You know, he's 30, what is he, 34, 35? He could be 35, I'm not sure. Or about to turn 35. Hey Siri, how old is Islam Makhachev?
Islam Makhachev is 33 years old.
Okay, he's 33. That's my mistake. Apologies, folks. I thought he was 34. Still, he's probably got 1 or 2 good years left in him. Let's say we're at this point next year, mid-2026. He's fought, beat Jack. He's about to fight in his first title defense at welterweight, potentially against a Nima Gary or a Shavkat Rakhmonov. Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Islam Makhachev would be a fucking crazy fight. It would just be stylistically very intriguing. Folks, that's how you do it. That is how you do it. Ilia Topuria deserves the best of both worlds, and we are kind of overlooking Charles Oliveira, because Charles Oliveira, I think, might get chinned by Ilia. However, if Charles can roll with the shots, which he doesn't do, when somebody connects on Charles, he just firms it. He doesn't turn his head, he doesn't roll with shots. It's very difficult to watch sometimes when he's getting punched. It's like, oh. However, Oliveira can beat him. Oliveira and Ilia Topuria is such an exciting fight. It's the 2 biggest stars in the lightweight division at the moment, bar the champion. It's going to sell a lot. Hopefully it's got a great undercard beneath it. It's for an interim title. Ilia Topuria's career is fucking incredible so far. To be 16-0, to have this much hype behind them, you know, and to be fighting a veteran like Oliveira, it truly is showing the new guard of MMA coming through. And regardless of him finishing Max Holloway, he's so impressive. He's so impressive, and that's my take. That's my take on the lightweight and welterweight title picture and what they're going to do next. Obviously, props to Jack Della Maddalena. However, it's a very interesting fight, him versus Islam. You know, Islam did struggle with Dustin Poirier. So, him saying he could go up to middleweight if he wanted to is just fucking bullshit, to be honest with you. However, moving on. Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall, there's been no word on it. There has been absolutely no word on it. Tom is tired of talking about it. Jon keeps going quiet every time negotiations seem to be going somewhere. Folks, I think we have to just accept what Jon Jones realistically will do is get this fight booked for like November, and then pull out with an injury a few weeks before the fight, and then say, sorry guys, my body just can't hold up to this anymore, I'm going to have to retire. You know? So he's got the excuse of, oh, he would have fought Jon, but, you know, and it's a shit fight, because we know any slight injury Jon Jones has, he's not turning up. And that's how it's been his whole career. He's pulled out multiple fights, you know. He didn't accept short notice replacements as the defending champ. He's just a pathetic excuse for a fucking human. I've made multiple videos on Jon Jones and his... Don't get me started. He's not taking the fight. I guarantee you, the biggest fight in the sport right now is Aspinall versus Jones. It's the one everybody wants. They're not going to make it. Tom Aspinall is 33. Or 32, rather. Sorry, my mistake. I'm not very good with ages today. He's 32. We're literally wasting his career. He fought in November 2023, July 2024, and now it's 2025 and he's not fought. And bear in mind, we're 5 months into 2025. Jon Jones' last fight was 6 months ago. And he still needs time? Like, he only got booted around a little bit by the 42-year-old man. Like, come on. He was getting pieced up by Stipe in some moments. The finish was spectacular, but the guy's not good anymore. And he's actually very overrated. George St. Pierre is the greatest mixed martial artist of all time, followed by Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. And then I wouldn't even put Jon Jones third. You know, I would probably look more at like an Islam Makhachev at this point. You know, a Cain Velasquez, one of these guys that have lost and come back, that haven't been caught on drugs, that haven't hit pregnant women with their car, that aren't sly, disgusting human beings that pick and choose fights like little cunts, little bitches. So that's my take on Jon Jones. And the thing is, people are like, keep that same energy when you see Jon Jones in real life. Where am I going to see Jon Jones in real life? Where is he going to be watching these videos? And everything I'm saying is facts. So if he's just a little insecure bitch and he wants to attack a 20-year-old young man for saying these things, then don't do these fucking things. If he doesn't want me to have a fucking opinion on him battering his wife, leaving her in a pool of her own blood in front of his children, and the children having to phone the hotel reception, fuck him. Those are the facts. If he's an insecure little bitch, I suppose he is because he's on performance-enhancing drugs. If he's so insecure, deal with it himself. Go see a therapist, you fucking prick. I hate Jon Jones. I think he's a scumbag. I can't stand his guts. He's a little pussy. He's terrified of big Tom Aspinall because he knows he'd get flattened. He's never fought anyone who's dangerous. He fought Daniel Cormier twice when Daniel Cormier was fucking 36, 37. More of an age gap between them two, and those are his biggest fucking wins, his biggest claim to fame. Oh, I beat Daniel Cormier. One of those fights was turned over because you were on steroids. The second one, he was what, 38 years old? You were 28? 29, 30. There's more of an age difference compared to you, and you are older. You are younger than Daniel Cormier was when he fought you. And you know how big of a factor that played into your guys' fight in terms of stamina and the steroids you were on. That's why you won't fight Tom. Plus, you've never fought a fucking huge heavyweight. Plus, you've never fought anybody the same size as you. And the 3 times you have, you almost got beat. And then the 4th time, you did get beat by Reyes. And whatever. I'm done. Jon Jones isn't accepting the fight. He's a little bitch, pussy cunt. Tom Aspinall is... I think he should just fight again at this point. I think if Aspinall accepts another fight, the whole community will go, yeah. I mean, the fact he's having to do another... I think just strip Jon Jones. Like, what am I even talking about? Just strip the guy. Get rid of his belt. Why does he still have the fucking belt? Aspinall is literally saying he can be active. He wants to be active. But why are we keeping Jones as champ? You fucking retard company, man. You're an idiot company. Why is Jones still the champ? Thanks for watching, folks. Goodbye.